Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoy our content, please click that subscribe button and turn on your ring notifications. Also follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Our episodes come out every Monday at 8 p.m. and your support will go a long way. Before we head over to the podcast, we'd like to thank our sponsors. Are you looking to buy or sell your home or just curious about how much it's worth? Visit AlessandroDivinoHomes.com today. Working with Alessandro of Compass will give you the edge in navigating the real estate market. And by ASF Sports and Outdoors. ASF is your community hub for all your sporting goods. ASF Sports and Outdoors, expert advice every day. And now, let's head over to the podcast. Hi everyone, welcome to the PrepZone Podcast. I'm delighted to have today from the Staples Boys varsity team, Santi, Alfageme, and Avery Mueller. How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Well, I'm doing well. How are you, Avery?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, you guys are off to a great season, aren't you?
Yeah.
Santi, talk to me how the first few games have been, and now you guys ranked number one in the state, right? How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. First few games, we definitely had a hard start to the season in terms of like the teams we were playing, but we got through that. We won a lot of those games, which is good for us, get some momentum. And yeah, I'm just happy to be number one right now.
It's great. And Avery, I mean, you've been certainly on a scoring and assist terror lately. How has it been different than last year? What's been different for you?
Yeah, I think it's definitely the supporting cast. You know, last year, I just all of us weren't really on the same page. But this year, I have people helping me out. And when I score the goals, it's not all me. It's especially the teammates around me getting the assists, and then me being able to get assists to players like Emmett, Carpy, who can finish the ball much better than the past. I think it's huge.
It has. I mean, your games have been, I think most games you guys are able to get out to an early lead, right? And Santi, being a defender, it's a lot easier to play when you have a lead, right? Talk about the dynamic between playing down and playing up.
Yeah. I think, last game was the first time that we went down first all season, so that was definitely a struggle for us. But getting the lead early has been huge for us just because we can press up high at the start of the game, win the ball, and then once we score, we get comfortable and we can kind of sit back and try to defend, which I think we have a really strong defense this year. So once we get that early lead, it's nice to just like lock down and get a clean sheet.
And Avery, I know that I think I saw an interview from you somewhere where you were talking about finishing, right? So I think last year your role was a lot more feeding the guys that were in the center. This year you've been asked to finish a lot more and be the goal scorer. What's the mentality that goes behind doing that?
I mean, all summer we've been practicing, you know, going to the field with a couple guys. We're all going out there, and we're working on our finishing because we know that's key, and that's something we didn't have last year. So just getting the ball anywhere inside the box, outside the box, we're all looking to score. And I think if I have the ball on my feet anywhere around the 18, I will look to finish. And I think I've done a much better job than last year, where I wasn't really able to finish those as much.
Yeah, well, it's like old Gretzky, right? Which says you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly. Right,
so you got to put that ball in there. And Santi, I want to talk to you a little bit about you being number 15, right? I mean, I've been around the program for a long time. I know how much that means. Can you just explain a little bit to the audience what the number 15 means and what it means to you personally?
Yeah. So I don't remember exactly when it happened, but a while ago, when our coach Russ played for Staples, one of his teammates, he wasn't a captain, but his name was Preston Herden. He wore the number 15. He graduated from Staples. He was a really good player. And then he played his first year in college, and then he transferred to a different college. I forgot. I think it was like William and Mary maybe. And in preseason, he ended up having a heart attack on the field, and he passed away. So Dan Woog decided to retire his number. Not retire his number. He would just, instead of retiring his number, he has it passed on to a player each year. Ben picked me to wear it this year, which was a huge honor for me. And I think about it whenever we have a game, and I try to display his qualities the best way possible.
So you're a junior this year or a senior?
Senior.
So this year you're gonna have the I want to say the task of picking someone, right?
Yeah.
Are you always thinking about that when you're out there in the field, when you're looking at a player, saying, is that guy really the number 15 material?
Not always, but I definitely do think about it. I take some mental notes sometimes. For sure.
Yeah, right. So I got to put those guys on notice on the team, right?
Yeah.
Think about that for sure. Now, Avery, I want to talk to you. So last game, I was really close covering the game, and I felt like. And I think I mentioned it before we got on the air about, players just really, because you're fast, you're slick, you get away from people quite often. And guys seem to really don't play the ball. They go right for your body, right? Does that change your mentality at all going into these games, knowing that you're going to be hunted like that?
I mean, high school soccer, you go into it, you know it's going to be physical. It's a lot about athleticism and size. And, you know, I don't have this size, so I have to work around that in different ways, and I think my speed definitely helps with that. But going into those games, I know the bigger kids who will be guarding me, like number 7 yesterday and number 10 in the back line, they're always going to go, and if they can't get you on speed, they'll go for the body, and even if it's dirty, they'll still go for it. So it's not something I'm scared of, but it's more something just to watch out for and, you know, be smart with it, and I'm not going to retaliate because of yellows, and those are a bit of an issue for us. And
for sure.
For you.
Me especially.
Well, yeah, they mount up, right? I mean, they
Yeah.
mount up. I think you guys had to sit down against Bridgeport Central, right? You had to sit down for that. But, you know, I always feel like, you know, and I've been around the program for a long time, it's the game evolves, it changes as you go from game to game, right? I mean, it seems like every game's got its own story. And when you guys go and do you look at the stands before you go into the game to think about how you prepare for that game?
The standings?
Yeah, the standings, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think not like as a team, we don't go through it with our coach or anything, but I think a lot of the players do look at it. They see like what teams the team that we're playing has beaten, who they've lost to, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I don't really think it matters too much. You just have to prepare mentally, like, okay, who's going to be good on the team that we're playing tomorrow? Who do we have to defend? Who do we need to be aware of? Stuff like that. I don't think the standings really matters that much because people, you know, have lapses like us yesterday.
Sure. And when you go into a game that you know someone, I know you play, you know, both you guys play, you know, all around, play, you know, club, what have you. Is it harder or easier to play against friends on different school?
I mean, I like playing against a friend because, you know, they're not going to come at you. They're not going to be dirty. They're not going to talk smack during the game. So it's just someone you can connect to. But like if you're playing against someone you know and you're on the wrong side of the score and you're losing, it could be a bit rough after the game. You hear it from them. So that's a bit of an issue, but I kind of do like playing against someone I know.
Yeah.
Santi knows someone on Greenwich, actually.
Yeah, Maxie. No, but most of the kids that we played with last year on Beachside graduated already, so we don't know too many that are left.
All right, so I want to talk a little bit about off the field, right? I mean, you guys are both seniors. What are you looking for next year? Do you have Santi, for you first? Do you have a college you're looking into? What are your plans for next year, or are you just kind of playing it by ear now?
I'm not really looking to play soccer in college, so I'm just looking at schools, looking at where to apply to with my parents, stuff like that. Yeah, just going through like the application process.
That's awesome. How about you, Avery?
Yeah, soccer, it is important to me. I don't think I do want to play at the level in college, but I would like to continue with club. But I want to get farther away from Connecticut, the weather. So I'm looking to go maybe California.
So you're going far. You're looking to go far.
Going far, yeah.
So you're gonna become a hippie over there, you know?
I guess so.
So, Santi, any hobbies, anything you like outside soccer? If you're not in the soccer field, where do people find you usually?
On the books.
Reading books.
Studying.
My parents have me study a lot, but it's not my hobby. I like to draw sometimes.
You like to draw? That's really cool. So what do you draw?
Like cartoons, stuff like that.
That's really cool. Yeah. How about you, Avery?
I mean, during the soccer season, I feel like it's strictly soccer. I'm going soccer.
Right.
But just hanging out with friends, doing, I guess, just nothing much.
Not much. You kind of just stay on that soccer groove, right? Sports around you guys.
Interesting, like Tiago over here, but.
But listen, I mean, you guys. You look at, I mean, now you set expectations, right? You guys are number 1 in the state, so everybody's kind of looking up. And I think you guys kind of put Staples where it always belongs, right? I mean, everybody that comes to play Staples feel like it's their World Cup final. They want to beat down Staples because of all the FCAC titles, all the FCAC championships. So, Santi, what would you deem the season to be a success when you look back at it? Is it state playoffs, state final, state title, FCAC final? How do you look at that? Have you thought about what would you consider a successful season for you?
Yeah, for sure. I think the goals have shifted a little bit since the season started. I always expected us to be a good team, but I wasn't expecting us to go, you know, on such a long unbeaten run. So definitely now that we're this far into the season, I think the goal for all of us should be to win FCX and to win states. Just straight up. Yeah.
How about you, or if you would agree with that?
I agree. I think from the beginning it's been win a state title, win an FCAC title. last year, had the same goal but didn't work out. So coming into this year, I think it just means that much more, getting to that spot that we need to be. Looking in the past, you see the history of Staples and how many championships you win, and I want to be part of that, and I think we all do.
Yeah, you want to walk by the trophy and see your picture there, right? Saying it's a title for me.
Yeah,
All right, so now let's talk a little bit about how the preseason and all that. Santi, give me a story that's something funny or something interesting or something that happened between when you guys started that the camp up to now that kind of summed up your season to now for you.
From preseason?
Or during the season up to now. Anything up to now. Cool story, something you want to share with our audience that would be
I'd say after the first game against New Canaan, we all got on the bus on the way home and we just threw on music. We had the whole team, everybody in the team sung a song
Karaoke.
for us. Yeah, we did a karaoke, which I think was good. I think it just sums up the season because this is a tight group of kids this year for sure. And we have a good bond. It feels more of like a family. So I think that's just one of the things that has helped us a lot.
And Avery, I think it's the second time I hear you guys talk about family, right? And how was that attained? I mean, is there something you guys did different than you before? What would you attribute getting to that point where you said it and Santi said it? So it seems to me like it's something that's engraved in your DNA right now as his team. So what was different? What did you do as you guys are captains? So you guys had a big hand in that.
Last year, I feel like we definitely had the family aspect. It just wasn't throughout the entire program. I think there was a smaller group of guys who would come together every weekend. We would hang out. And I just think the fact that it's bigger this year, bigger than just a couple of us, bigger than just your friends walking into the season, it's the entire program, it's the whole team, and it's everyone instead of just a couple guys. So I think coming out here and creating that bond throughout all three teams, we're going to the practices, we're watching games of the freshman team, the JV team, they're all coming to our games. And I think just the connection between the three teams is much different than it has been in the past.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it, right? And you mentioned freshmen and JV, and I also want to talk about the guys who don't get much playing time, right? But they're cheering you guys on. How important are they to your team?
Yeah, I mean, Russ always calls them the 12th man. The people on the bench, they play just as big as a role as every one of us on the field. And when they bring the energy from the sideline, I think that just amps us up even more and puts much more energy within the team on the field as it is on the bench. And I think coming together like that is just something that's very big for going forward in these big games.
Yeah, you're going to play big games again. I think you guys are Saturday. We play Trumbull, right? I mean, that's going to be a big game, right? I mean, Santi, you're going to have to mark Owen, right? That's it's not going to be an easy task, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys as a defense, you've allowed so few goals this year. So anything that you see change from last year? Because I mean, last year you were playing, but you weren't playing so much. You come in this year, you got the 15, and you guys have conceded very few goals. I mean, I think it was 4 goals through 9 games, or something like that. Right? That's really big. What changed the mentality there to defense?
I just think it was a shift in last season we were really young defensively. We were also missing that second center back to go along with Ben. I kind of went in and out. We had a few others go in and out. But I think this year the back line is completely set. I think Nick's a really good goalie this year, really strong, and I feel confident in him making a ton of saves to help us out. And all the guys that are starting this year aren't nervous anymore because we are used to it. We got minutes last year. We know what it's like to play in varsity games, and we're just ready. We go out onto the field and we're ready to play.
Yeah, I think probably the struggles from last year, you guys are reaping the benefits of that now, right? Because even though you guys maybe got more playing time last year and younger, but now when you're senior, you guys come in and you're what's supposed to be done. You got it, right? All right, so it's been so great to have you guys here. I mean, I hope we can do this again after you win the state championship.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Right, after the state championship would be great, right? All right, so now we're going to go into a little bit of the quick hits, okay? So I'm going to ask you guys some questions. We'll start with Santi and then Avery, and we'll go back and forth, okay? And no right or wrong answer. We'll go through the conversation here. Just tell me what you got, okay? All right, so Santi, favorite Drake song?
Favorite Drake song? Wait. I don't remember the name.
Avery?
Best I ever had.
I don't remember the name. So
all right, so we'll go. All right. TikTok or Instagram?
Instagram.
All right, last series you binge watched?
Peaky Blinders. Oh, you don't know Peaky Blinders?
Peaky Blinders. It's a really good series. What was the last one you?
He watches Vampire Diaries.
We'll go with that, sure.
All right. Burger or pizza?
Burger.
Nice burger, yeah.
Math or English?
English.
Math, yeah.
Fiction or nonfiction?
Neither. Don't agree.
Neither, but fiction.
Yeah.
All right. Cake or ice cream?
Cake.
Ice cream. I have it every night.
Beach or sightseeing?
Beach.
Beach.
Coolest thing in your room?
Close in my room. I got like a beanbag in there. It's pretty nice.
There you go.
I think it's got to be a soccer flag from when I went to Italy.
Oh, very cool. All right. All right. Well, now we're going to think about soccer. Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Stop. Messi.
If you could have lunch with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Soccer player?
It could be anybody.
Gotcha.
Maradona.
I'm going to say Messi because I play like him.
Bro, he's not.
Okay.
Oh, dead or alive.
Dead or alive, yeah. So we're Santi, if you could, which day in your life would you like to go back and relive it?
Being born. I just want to know what it feels
Yeah.
like again. I want to know what that feels like.
Go back to the beginning. How about you,
Yeah.
Avery?
Say, I don't.
Hurry up.
I'll hit that. Same thing.
Yeah, it's an
No.
interesting question, right? I mean,
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about like all the great days we live, we kind of go back.
Yeah.
But guys, again, I want to wish you the best of luck for the season. Okay, we'll be there. We'll be covering you guys, hoping that a lot more wins come, and then we'll be at that
Sure.
state final.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it.